A situationship is a non-defined, non-committed relationship that often causes a lot of confusion and heartache. We're going to talk about what to do if you think you're in a situationship and you don't want to be in one. The way to navigate a situationship is by starting to define, what do I want? So the situationship can have happened in many ways. Maybe you didn't even know you were in a situationship, or you just don't know where you stand with the other person you're dating. But you have to ask yourself, what do I want? Am I okay with the current level of non-commitment, non-communication? And do I want this to turn into something more serious? Being honest with yourself is really the first step, because often I see people just being the nice guy or the cool girl and pretending that, oh yeah, I'm fine with it. It's cool. I don't want anything serious anyway. I used to be like that, when I was younger, especially when I was in high school, I would be like that. No, I'm cool. No problem, no worries. But there were worries and there were problems, and I actually was always looking for something more serious, because I'm not really personally into situationships. I don't have much faith in situationships. I'll be honest with you, I've at this point coached more than hundreds of clients, and I have yet to see one situationship that worked. I haven't seen it. So I don't have much faith in situationships, but you have to define with yourself, is this really what you're looking for right now? Is this a temporary time in your life where you don't want any commitment, but you still want some sort of physical intimacy and closeness with a person? And then try to access the current dynamic. How much effort are you putting into the situationship versus how much are they giving back? Is it equal or is it not? If it's not equal, you need to scale back a bit. If you're giving more than them, you need to scale back. If you're giving less, maybe it's up to you. Then maybe you need to communicate. But if you're here, you're probably giving more than the other person, then you definitely need to scale back. You need to access very clearly, look at the other person. What are they actually doing? Not what are they saying, but how are they actually showing up for you? Are they showing you in their actions that they are looking for something more serious? Or are they very clearly showing you in their actions that they're emotionally unavailable, not ready to commit, not really in love with you, only there for the physical intimacy, for example, or because they feel lonely or because they want a friend? Basically, you need to access if you're on the same page. The next step is a bit scary, but you have to do it. There's no way around it. You have to communicate clearly to the other person what your goals are in this situationship. Are you working towards a more serious, committed relationship? Is that really what you want? Or are you fine with things staying the way they are? So what often defines situationships is that there aren't any rules. There haven't been any conversations about what can we do, what can't we do, what should we share, what shouldn't we share. So set some rules. If none of you are ready to fully commit yet, the least you can do is set a certain amount of rules for what's okay and what's not okay. Are you allowed to see other people? Are you not allowed to see other people? What defines seeing other people? Are you allowed to message other people? Just try to talk about all the little details to avoid confusions. I sometimes have clients who've been in situationships where there was so many misunderstandings that the other person felt they were cheating when they were messaging other girls, or men, or, the misunderstandings happen so much in situationships, and you want to avoid that. So you have to communicate openly about what you want, and then you have to ask the other person the scary question, what do they want? If they're open to working towards a committed relationship, then I'd say you should be exclusive. You can be exclusively dating even while you're figuring out if you are each other's future husband and wife. You can still just be with each other and not date anyone else to avoid any jealousy and confusion. Stating your needs can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're a people pleaser. I know I used to feel really uncomfortable doing it. Now I'm much better at it, but I can still feel a bit uncomfortable, but you have to do it anyways, because if you're with someone who's not open to have these kind of conversations or to meet your needs, then you don't really have a future. You have to make sure to be clear on your boundaries and set boundaries for yourself, especially if the other person isn't really receiving what you're saying to them in a good way. You have to know when to walk away. Sometimes there is nothing to do and you're with a person who doesn't want what you want, and you may deep down hope that eventually they'll change your mind. But you know what? They probably won't. And even if they do, the dynamic in the relationship is you chasing and them being chased. And you don't even want to enter a long-term relationship with that dynamic, because that will always be sort of the starting point of the relationship. And it's really difficult to shift these dynamics. I have seen it happen, but it's super difficult. So set your boundaries, have self-worth, have self-respect, and walk away if the other person isn't reciprocating. If the other person is being very clear about that they don't want anything serious with you, they don't have feelings for you, there is no future in the relationship, it's not for you. If they, on the other hand, are super vague and they're trying to say, oh, maybe there could be something, but I'm not sure, blah, 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 but then they're still not showing up in their actions, that's also a sign that they're maybe bullshitting you and that there is not a future there, because you always look at their actions, not just their words. You have to ask yourself, does this situationship add value to my life as it is, or does it need to change for me to be happy? In most cases, I would say it would need to change for you to be happy, unless you are rebounding or something like that. But then you have to communicate that to the other person. It's not fair for the other person to be a rebound without knowing that they're a rebound. Situationships, like I said, I don't have much faith in them. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's basically, it can maybe work if it's two people mutually using each other in the moment, but more often than not, one person will develop feelings, at least eventually, and then there'll be a lot of awkwardness and miscommunication and misunderstanding and a lot of unnecessary heartache. If you're in a situationship, please comment below. I'd love to hear how you're feeling and if this video was helpful for you. Please like the video if you liked it and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.